you to Inspiring Yoga with Dr. Gold. It's been a little while since I've actually been live, and today I just felt that I needed to do this. So, thank you for joining in. If you are going to be picking this up later, just want you to bring in love in your heart. My kitty completed her life on Saturday evening, and we just want to send out my beautiful Bella. We know, sometimes you say we lost her, and I realize now she's not lost. She's in here, filling us with all her beautiful memories, and her. We have tons of photos. Thank God that we took that. I highly recommend if you have animals, take pictures, especially videos. They're fun to watch, and we're just going to put something collectively together in her honor and make donations to the Humane Society. But in the meantime, an animal coalition. But in the meantime, just want to send out lots of love. She loved her belly rubbed, so we are going to start with a little massage of our stomach. So this is in honor of gut health. We know digestion is really important to feeling good, and if you're not digesting foods well, you can feel bloated, feel uneasy, and get pain. So just a gentle massage if your hands are cold, because it's a little chilly here in Tampa. And if you're up in the Northeast, I know it's a lot colder. So just rub your hands together, big smile here, and just place your hands on your stomach. Just breathe into that belly. So we're going to work on that belly breath. Inhale, expand the belly, and exhale, release. If it doesn't happen, just laugh. Typically, when people breathe, they breathe with their shoulders, but I want you to keep your shoulders down. I just want you to move that belly. So deep breath in, inhale, and a nice ah. I want to just show you my stomach for a moment. So when we breathe, inhale, expand the belly, hold it, and exhale, release, empty. Good. Inhale, pause, and then exhale. So nice long exhale. It helps release and relax the body because we're getting more oxygen into the whole system. And when we breathe, we're actually moving those lungs. So the lung cavities are two major lobes in the two lungs, I should say, with several lobes, two lobes on one side and three lobes on the other. Hope I said that right. Anyway, but when we expand, think of two sponges taking in air. So just like how a sponge takes in water, it opens up. And if you move that belly, that diaphragm, which is a dome-shaped muscle, like a parachute, sits right underneath those lungs between that and the intestines. So just think of like an umbrella or a dome, and then when it gets pulled down, a deflated umbrella. So remember, if you've ever been outside and your umbrella switches up, which I've had in the wind, that goes down, opens up those lungs. So it's a negative suction or a vacuum, sucks it, opens up, allows that belly to move. If you're just breathing from the shoulders, we're not getting that full capacity of those lungs to open us up. So I want to shake the body for a moment. Shake, shake, shake. Shake those hips. Ho, ho, ho. And rotate. Rotate around. Good. And the other way. So I did want to comment on something that, and just I had a patient recently was just telling me that she's been in therapy for many years and she doesn't feel like it's working right now. And I think definitely therapy has a place, but if what you're doing, she's been in there for 20 years, she's really hasn't made much progress. If you're constantly, basically she told me she was raped and she had some serious conditions happen to her after, obviously that is horrifying. I can't even imagine. But the idea of staying the victim or just thinking of being a survivor, and that's not working for her now. She wants to be a winner. She wants to overcome this. She doesn't want it to live her life because she's been suffering with anxiety and PTSD, which is completely understandable. First, never identify with the disease. We were talking about that. And understand that you can overcome no matter what you've been through, you can get stronger. And I talked to her about getting into martial arts or Krav Maga. She's done kickboxing, but she really wants to overcome this and kick it in the butt. And I said, learning self-defense is one of the best things you can do because you're learning doesn't mean that you're going to hurt somebody that's not bothering you, but you can learn some techniques that can protect yourself and also prevent this if possible. You're not going to go to certain areas or certain things, will be more mindful. And her stance, because I noticed when she came in, she literally was hunched. And what a police officer have told us when we did self-defense training, he said they look for people that appear weak or vulnerable. And it does matter, that stance. Just a millimeter of change makes that difference. So just notice how you feel too. This helps a relaxed posture as well, getting more air into the body. It does relax the mind. It gives you more confidence, especially during this journey we've been through over the last year with the pandemic. We know many folks are living in fear. And remember, fear can also stand for false expectations appearing real. False expectations appearing real. Remember, fear is not real. It's what we see it in our head. What is real is danger. Danger is there's a fire or something tangible. Fear is what we think might happen. So we're actually getting scared in advance. And a lot of times things in our head get blown up and we can worry and worry and worry. And some of those things may not ever even happen. And if they do, we're so stressed out, it's harder for us to cope with those things. So I just want you to come to a powerful stance. You can think of your power pose right here, wherever that would be, your favorite superhero, get in that stance. So Amy Cuddy talks about this. But they found even if you fake it till you make it, you actually believe you're strong, confident, you just act like a badass, it actually starts to manifest because you feel stronger. Same thing, I've learned this with doing Krav Maga, the martial arts. As I get stronger doing the activities, I start feeling better. And it's amazing. Your body can heal, your mind can heal too. So even if you've had the idea of being the victim or feeling survivor, and again, there's no shame. I'm not putting that down, making light of it. But if it's not serving you, if it's not helping you get to your higher power, for this person in particular, she's not able to sleep because of it. She's not able to function well because of it. She's living, actually, I shouldn't even say that. She feels like she's not living her optimal life. Know that you can change that too. So that's pretty neat. So let's roll the shoulders, interlace those fingers. Just feel those palms reaching out. Notice my shoulders hunch for a moment, and then I want you to round them down. Hunch, and then round them down. Good. Rotate around. Good. And big arm circles. Big arm circles. Good. And just reach up and over, and then up and over to the other side. So this is in honor of one of my patients. He asked, how do I get strong arms? You can definitely get strong arms by doing some weights, but if you're just starting out and you're a little concerned with the weights or you don't want to get hurt with them, or this sometimes it could be a pain, especially if you're traveling or going somewhere. So you can start off with bands. They're easy. And there's different levels. I typically, if you're just starting out, the yellow or greens are the easier ones. They're more stretchy. If you get the reds in between, and then the blacks and the blues tend to be a little more challenging. You can try it out just to see. But the nice thing is if it's really easy, you can double it up too. So we're going to go about a little shoulder width. If you don't have a band, you can just pretend, or you can actually use a towel. That's fine to just use that. You'll still get some resistance training that way. So use what you have. If you have a belt or a tie, you can use that as well. So just about a little wider than shoulder width. If you don't have it, you can just pause here and then go back to it. Okay, and we're going to just stretch and open. So you want to feel that chest opening, those pecs. We're stretching those muscles open. Working the shoulders. Again, if this is too intense, you can lower the band down. And I know for the ladies, we always want to work those triceps too. And just lift this up. I definitely didn't have any muscle toe when I first started, and now I'm getting, it's not huge, but I'm getting a little bit of toe there. So your body can always improve. And remember, you can always build muscle at any age, which is pretty neat. So what we're going to do, if you want to do triceps, the best thing to do, and again, if you don't have a band, you can just pretend, or just pushing back. You can also use weights for this. So put the band underneath your feet. Again, not gonna, just take my word, it's underneath my feet. Yeah, I'll show it down for just a moment and I'll bring it up. Look at my feet for a moment. Oh, is this in there? Yeah, it's lowered. There we go. Okay, so you can see my feet there. Okay, I'm going to lift it up so you can see the rest of my body. So I literally just put the band under the balls of my feet, and then I'm holding on. Oh, sorry, elbows in first, and just push back, push back, push back. Good, so this is a nice stretch to extend. And then just for the biceps, you just pull up. Do it this way. See some biceps in here. And all you want to do is lift. Just lift. It's a nice way to stretch those arms. Oh, it feels so good. So good. Good. If you want to get some shoulders, you just kind of like one arm shoulder. And usually our bodies are not symmetric. As you can see, I'm lifting a little bit higher with one arm than the other. But if that happens, you just do your best with it. And if one arm doesn't move as well, just use the other arm. That's okay. And now I'm just going to keep the elbows. I'm just gently moving my elbows up. Should feel the stretch in those shoulders. Ooh, it feels so good. Let's go back to the triceps again. Just gently elbows in and just push back. So there's a connection. Almost feel like the elbows are glued in to the side waist and you're just pushing straight back. Push straight back. As you can see, my hands are palms down, and then bicep curls. Oh, feels good. Good. And just for low back, you're going to hold on to your band. Release, release, release. And then we're going to circle around. Again, you can just circle if you don't have the band. Good. And the other way. Good. Reach up and up and over. Up and over. Good. And then just bring that band in. Feels so good. Good. Shake, shake, shake. So I did see a patient yesterday. It's actually a good friend. She was in town visiting, and she's like, "Can you take a look at me?" And her big thing, she's been really healthy most of her life, but she just started to not feel good, and she's having some bloatedness, some abdominal discomfort. And understand we all get these things, or I shouldn't say all, but a lot of people do. It's common depending on what we're eating. We know sometimes fast food and sometimes it's inevitable. It's easy, convenient. My mother-in-law was visiting way back when, and I remember this. She's like, we got up a little late. We were heading to the Biltmore. We were in Asheville, and we just, didn't have time to make breakfast. So she's like, oh, we'll just stop at McDonald's. Now I hadn't eaten McDonald's in 10 years by that time. But I was like, all right, and I didn't want to argue. So I did. I had some food there, and I literally felt so sick. And it was one thing I realized when you're getting healthy, your body knows. It was rejecting the food. So I knew from that point I had to just mention, even if she wants to eat fast food, she can eat what she wants, and I respect that. But I have to also respect my body, and I don't have to eat junk food just because somebody else is doing that. So honoring what my body's limits or what I can do. So putting good nutritious foods, I just have to plan ahead. And yes, maybe on occasion I have eaten at McDonald's for their eggs or something, but I'm not getting a burger or anything that is going to make me so sick. You have to find what works. And I've had patients, they eat there and like, I never get sick, Dr. Olaf. Like, that's good. Well, unfortunately, if you're eating junk food over and over, it's okay to ask yourself, what is that doing to my body long term? If I'm not putting in highly nutritious foods on a regular basis or more consistently. So let's place our hands together. Lift, lift, lift. And sometimes you don't know how great you can feel if you've never done it. So I had some patients, they never started exercise before. And once they got going, they're like, Dr. Gold, I didn't know how great it feels to move that body, to smile, to laugh, because just we didn't do that in my family. So it's okay to, be the first to start a trend. Good. It does feel great. So I want you to practice. If you're just staring at this, looking at who's this person with these little ears, we're doing a little dedication to my Bella. She completed her life recently. She is in Rainbow Land. That's what the vet said. And I'm just thinking of her beautiful smile and her big fluffy belly that she loved rubbed and massage. We totally spoiled her, but she wouldn't usually eat unless we either lifted her or she jumped up and she wanted to be petted or brushed while she ate. Very, very sweet cat. Okay, just rotate around again. Good. We're going to extend those arms. Reach, reach, reach. This is that time for gratitude, love. So what are you grateful for in this world? What are you appreciating? Who are the people in your life that uplift you, that bring you joy? Sometimes it's our kids. They can drive us crazy, but they can also bring in love. I know my husband, amazing guy. He could drive me crazy too, but I love him. Good. And all the beautiful people, my mentors, coaches. How much they care about me, I care about them, and just sending that love up. Good. I'm going to do a little facial yoga now. So if it's been a while, remember we want to tone that neck. It helps lengthen. It helps you look younger and feel better. It can also release tension in the back of the neck or if you're having headaches. Because remember, if there's soft tissue here, there's no tone, what's going to happen? Yeah, it's not going to be able to hold up that head as well. And this could weigh about 10 pounds for some. So we want to lengthen. So from a side view, bottom lip over your top lip, hold it up, look silly. And circle around. Good, and just pulse the bottom lip up. Good, and then gentle massages in those cheeks. Ah, and the forehead. This is a really nice routine before sleep. Just right before you go to bed, you can just relax, or if you're watching TV or just taking a break, if you get any headaches, it's nice to warm those hands and just cup the eyes, breathe into them. Breathe into your hands, take a nice deep breath, a big smile here. Good, and look up, look down, to your right and to your left. Look nearby, look in the distance. Good job. One more time. Up, down, to your right and left, nearby, and in the distance. Oh, feels so good. Okay, so this is the last part. I'm going to show you the belly massage. And again, you can do this on yourself or you can have somebody else do it. So if I'm doing it on a patient, I'll use the heel of my hand. This is a method I learned actually in Thailand for abdominal bloatedness or gas. And I know several of my patients who eat sometimes at the fast food restaurants, they get this gas pain that it's just their body's not, especially if they haven't been eating, if they've been eating healthy and then they ate, just once in a while, the fast food, it doesn't agree with them. So greasy fried foods, especially. My sister had this problem too, and I massaged her. So this is what I did with one of my patients, and she had meat when she hadn't had meat in about a month. So she was eating chicken. Her brother brought by and it just didn't agree with her. So just always remember, again, if you're eating healthy, clean, and it's fine to ask, is the chicken by any chance pasture raised or 100% grass fed? And just making that choice, you can still be kind to say, no, thank you, but I appreciate the kind gesture. So if you don't want to indulge in something that's not good for you, it's okay to say no. Okay, so if you're doing this on your own, just think of like the Heimlich maneuver. I'm using, but you're not going to press too hard. We're actually using the knuckles of the thumb, and you wrap the other. So that area is going right where the belly button is, just a little bit above it. And I just press in, so like at 12 o'clock. So if you see where my stomach is, just right around in this area. And I literally am going to go in a clockwise direction. So I start here and just wrap around. So we press in and up, inhale, release. Then I go over to the side, inhale and up. Good. And if you find a spot, because sometimes for me it's much lower, you can stay there and breathe into it. So I inhale, open, then exhale, release. That's so good. I did actually try to recruit my husband. He's working right now, but I'll try to see if I can get him so you can see me doing it on someone. Good. Oh, so I'm literally just pressing in and up. Use the other hand to back in, but I just want you to see what I'm doing. And then wrap. So I'm going again around this way, but I press on each spot. And if you feel a certain area that you need more, you can press a little bit longer. Ooh, good. You can do this as long as you need to, maybe 10, 15 minutes. If you want to start with some warm heat on that area, remember, never put direct heat or a heating pad directly on the skin. You can warm it up and put a towel and then put that it over it. Always test it first. And then I rub my hands together. You can always warm your hands this way. And I start my heat just with my hands. And then I do that exercise. It feels so good. And send out love to your belly. If you're feeling uncomfortable, instead of just reaching for a Pepcid or Tums or medicine, it's okay to ask what the message is. Did I eat something that didn't agree with me? Of course, if you need to take something, do it, but it's fine to also figure out the root cause. And I know I've mentioned this before, but if you're just tuning in, functional medicine tests. So as a medical doctor, when I went to medical school, we actually learned about disease and how to treat it primarily with medications. I didn't study or learn in medical school about health or wellness. So I did additional training. I'm a holistic medical doctor as well as an MD, a medical doctor, and a yoga instructor and laughter yoga leader. But I studied additionally Thai massage, so to do this massage, and also functional medicine tests to delve deep. So not just routine labs that you get at traditional doctors, but we actually find out if your sugars are high, why are they high? How are you metabolizing your sugars? I've had some patients, their sugars were high, but it wasn't actually related to them eating a lot of sugar. They weren't. They were just they had a lot of stress in their life. So it was actually their hormones that were affecting their sugars. Their cortisol levels were very high. That affected their blood pressure, affected their blood sugars. Now you can take medicines if you're on a blood pressure medicine. How long are you on it for? I know the rest of your life, a lot of doctors tell you. Or same with cholesterol, diabetic medicines. They usually say you're rarely going to get off. But I have a lot of my patients starting to get off their medications. One gentleman, I'm so proud of him, he's almost off most of his meds for depression. He had severe migraines. He's literally off those medicines and he's feeling great. So remember, these medicines have side effects the longer you're on them. Again, I would never tell you not to take a medicine, but with somebody who's trained in figuring out the root cause of why you're having migraines, why you're having digestive issues. So we're doing a gut test on him. We did a nutrient test, hormonal test, and you get answers, and then we start treating that, and it's amazing. They start feeling better and start living their optimal life. So we're gonna keep it short and sweet today, but I just wanted to check in, just to let you know that I love you. I love Bella. I say I'm gonna miss her, but I know I'm taking her with me wherever I go now. All her beautiful memories, and I did post pictures if you want to see it. And you know, animals are just like family, so it's definitely hard. And if you're going through something like this, it's never easy. I'm gonna get a little teary eyed, but I know deep in my heart, because my mom completed her life early too, that I get to talk to them. I can journal. So remember those folks in our lives that maybe they're not physically here, they're still spiritually and they're still in our hearts. And we can speak to them anytime we need to. We can get guidance. We kind of know what they're going to say, and all the good memories and thoughts that we have of them. Remember those things. You don't have to remember just the end. We can remember the beginning, or just remember that was the completion of life. We are, oh, unless you freeze your body, we're all going to go through that. So, but to live to your optimal life, feel good. And today I got an ultrasound just to be on the safe side, checking my belly and making sure everything's good with me. But I was talking to the ultrasound technician, and she told me, Dr. Gold, I'm so tired. And she actually said, I need to see you. And I actually saw her a few years back now. And she told me the same thing. So the only difference is action. So, what's the one thing that you can do for your health? Your health won't wait. So, if you keep putting it off, keep putting it off. And she has two young kids, and it's okay if you want to do it for them. The most important part is do it for yourself. Your health is essential. We can't do anything without that. And it's okay to ask yourself, where will you be without your health? You can gain more money, you can do this and that, and it's okay to ask, what are you waiting for? So if you need any assistance, even where to go, if you're not sure where to turn, I know, I get it. You're scared. You may not want to identify certain things. But honestly, if you identify it early, you can usually sometimes take care of it so it doesn't have to fester rather than wait till it's too late. So that's a little scary. So let's end up on a positive note now with some love. I just wanted to put that little plug in because it's so important to me. The same as I recommend to my patients, I'm doing for myself. I just got a routine. I got a special lab test called the complete hormone test, which can check for early cancer markers. We know cancer is the second leading cause of death in the US. Why not identify it early? Remember, a mammogram, it's usually a diagnostic test. They call it a screening, but usually don't pick up precancers, which you're actually picking up as cancer. It identifies it hopefully early, but why even identify it? What can we do before the cancer even forms? So do those tests, find out what you can do to keep yourself well and healthy and feeling amazing. You deserve that. So, all right, now step back, inhale, exhale out, and feel free to come down to the floor if you're going to do that. I'm going to close standing. So this is that time for gratitude and appreciation. I'm sending out love to you, my fans, my audience, my patients, students, all the people that I love and care about, and the people I haven't met yet. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Feel free to message me, like me, whatever. And if you want comments or suggestions, please enter that too. My goal is to grow and learn. And goat yoga is coming up. I talked to Pam. She actually had 8 new kids, so 8 new little baby goats. It's going to be fabulous. We only have 2 spots left. It's going to be about six people in the class. So it's a small class just because of space and of COVID. So we do ask that you'll wear a mask. So if everything's friendly and COVID friendly, and we have enough room and space, so we won't be, too close. Of course, we'll practice at 6 feet or more distance. And there's a flyer on our calendar of events for details. But if you are interested, please RSVP soon. All right, I'm going to sign off. Send out lots of love. May we be at peace. May our heart remain open. May we know the beauty of our own true nature. May we be healed. And may we be a source of healing in this world. Namaste. Toodles, it's Dr. Gold with Dr. Gold's Optimal Living Institute. Live optimally. Take care now.